With Saturn, you always gotta play things a little bit rough, you know? It's a little hard. Saturn is just not gonna help anyone. You gotta put some work. All right. Hello, and welcome to Mercury Rising. This is August 12th, with another Keeping Up with the Moon. The show where I break down whatever the moon is doing and try to make sense of it. Like always, these come from my Instagram. Honestly, it's actually, if you're annoyed by me repeating this in every video, imagine how annoyed I am having to do these back to back. I don't know if you noticed, I'm wearing the same shirt that I did yesterday because I'm recording this in the same day. So repeating these is annoying, as annoying for me as it is annoying for you. But then new people are gonna come, they need to know that there is an Instagram. So that's why I'm doing this. So yes, these videos make a whole lot more sense if you go to the Instagram and then come back here, because they're kind of like two sides of the same coin. And then after you do that, you take off on your day and you do some reflecting and see if what I said pans out in any shape or form. One thing that you might find useful is that if you look into the sign that I'm talking about in the given day, today we're going to continue to talk about the moon in Libra, see where Libra falls into in your chart, and see how those topics interact with what I'm talking. And eventually I will post a video that explains how to do that. But for now, I'm not doing it. So let's get to it. The astrology of August 12th. Moon in Libra. Cool. So today is when we actually get the Saturn trine. So I'm gonna go back in time because I skipped a bit too far because I want to actually see the moment of that Saturn trine. So yes, so we have the Saturn trine actually happening in the moon zone decan in Libra, right before she goes into the Saturn decan. And because it's so close, I'm going to treat them like they're almost together just because the moon will stay there for most of the day. What I was saying yesterday with the whole Saturn trine is the ability for Saturn to help the moon out to some degree. The moon is in Saturn's sign of exaltation, so there's a little bit of an affinity with what the moon is doing with what Saturn is doing. Not only that, they're also in their signs, hence the trine. So today's a day to get some help and to get some support. But if we're talking about Saturn, that's not a thing that's not a thing that's gonna come by easy. Like that, like getting that sentence out was not easy at all. I think with the Saturn trine is I get definitely that sense of like getting help from the master or some sort of person or some sort of thing that is further advanced in the journey that you currently undertaking. However, as we go into the Saturn decan, if any of you guys are familiar with tarot, and maybe I'll make an effort to put the tarot card somewhere in the thing. This specific decan is related to the Three of Swords in the tarot. And the Three of Swords is that card of the heartbreak that everybody hates and yada yada. But if we're talking about Saturn and Libra, that card might not be so bad. And I think that's the thing that we need to focus on here. And one thing that I really like about the way that Austin Coppock defines this decan in his course on the decans in his book 36 Faces is that this is the decan of commitment and contracts, making promises and seeing them to the end. So the help that you might get today is the kind of help that you're gonna have to first self-advertise and make sure that you look like, even though you might not be as further advanced in the thing as the source of help, because I'm saying the source of help because it might not necessarily be a person, but just to make conversation easy, I'll default to the person. Even though you might not be as advanced as the person that you're trying to get the help from, you still have to show them that you have what it takes to even deserve that help. With Saturn, you always gotta play things a little bit rough, you know? It's a little hard. Saturn is just not gonna help anyone. You gotta put some work. So that's what this is all about. And in the topic of work and commitment and making promises, I think this is also the kind of help that won't necessarily come at no cost. Saturn will always get those tricky things, it's difficult. Yeah. Through this trine, even though the trine is super positive, I think that there are sacrifices that have to be made. There is a price that needs to be paid on both ends. Maybe if, again, like the hypothetical person Saturn is representing here, if that person is sacrificing their time to even give you some sort of help, and again, with Saturn, the god of time is a really important thing. I think the goal of today is addressing that price and really get comfortable with the idea of paying it, because you're gonna have to pay it whether you like it or not. And I think that also, if you're willing to pay for it, the results are gonna be grand. Don't be afraid to be really stern and treat this whole interaction like a business deal, whatever it is. Maybe if it's, I don't know, if Libra is in your 4th house and you're dealing with your father and you're trying to get the help from your father for something, show them that, yes, I'm willing to pay that price, but I need that specific thing. If we're dealing with Saturn, you're allowed to be as stern as Saturn is in this whole ordeal. So don't be afraid to make demands, because Saturn won't be afraid to make them. But yeah, is that it? Is that it for today? I think it is. Yes, I think it is. So yeah, be stern. Ask for help. Make demands. That's the mood. But yeah, that's it. I think that pretty much sums it. Don't be afraid to make demands and go for it. Saturn is here to help. If we go back to what I was talking about yesterday, especially with the moon's decan, is that closed mouths don't get fed. So make your demands. But yeah, with that said, I think I've done my part here. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. I'd like to take this moment to thank and credit my teachers and people who have influenced me throughout my studies. These are also people who I may quote from time to time: Vadius Valens, Dimitra George, Patrick Watson, Firmicus Maternus, Dorotheus, Lisa Shine, Austin Coppa, Kelly Surtees, Gemini Brett, Samuel Reynolds, Hermes, T. Susan Chang, Mel Naleen, Chris Brennan, Saint Expedite, Gordon White, Connor Habib, and Eric L. Arnenson.